Two lions in Africa spot a lawyer on a safari. The lions are hungry, so they pounce on the lawyer and eat him. Later, the two lions are stalking through the brush when one of them reaches out with his tongue and licks the rear of the other lion. The startled lion turns around and says,
"Hey, cut that out!"
The other lion apologizes and they continue. About 5 minutes later, the lion again reaches out with his tongue and licks the rear of the other lion. The lion growls and says,
"I said stop it!"
The other lion apologizes and they continue. After about another 5 minutes, the lion once more licks the rear of the other lion. This time, the other lion asks,
"I told you to stop that! What is it with you anyway?"
The lion replies,
"Sorry. I was just trying to get the taste out of my mouth."
The school teacher asks her students to create a sentence containing the expression, "I presumed." Becky raises her hand first and says,
"Yesterday, my mother hand-washed the dinner dishes. I presumed that the dishwasher was broken."
"Very good," says the teacher. Next, Bobby says,
"This morning, my father left for the office carrying an umbrella. I presumed that it might rain."
"That's excellent," says the teacher. Little Johnny gets up and says,
"Yesterday, I saw my grandpa leave the house with a newspaper under his arm, heading behind a bush. I presumed that..."
The teacher interrupts him and says, "I stopped you because you have no idea what your grandfather was going to do, so you can't presume anything." Johnny pleads,
"Please, teacher, let me finish my sentence."
The teacher says, "Very well, you may continue."
"As I was saying,"
continues little Johnny,
"I saw my grandpa heading behind a bush with a newspaper under his arm. I presumed I knew what he was going to be doing because I know he can't read."
A woman walks into a butcher's shop on Christmas Eve just before closing time and asks,
"Do you have any turkey?"
The butcher replies,
"I think I'm about sold out, but let me check."
The butcher opens his fridge and sees he has only one turkey left. He takes the turkey out and puts it on the weighing scales.
"This one weighs 15 pounds,
he tells the woman. The woman looks at the turkey on the scale and asks,
"Do you have one that's a bit bigger than this one, please?"
The butcher acts like he's putting the turkey back into the fridge, but then takes it out again. This time, he presses his thumb down on the turkey as he places it on the scales.
"This one weighs 20 pounds,
he tells the woman.
"That's wonderful,"
says the woman.
"Would you like this one then?"
asks the butcher.
"Actually,"
says the woman.
"I'll take both of them, please."
A man secretly wants to get rid of his wife's cat, so he decides to abandon it. He puts it into his car, drives a few blocks away, then drops the cat off and drives home. 10 minutes later, the cat is back home again.
"Well,"
the man thinks to himself,
"maybe it was a little too short a distance."
He gets back in his car with the cat, drives 5 miles and sets it free. Not 20 minutes later, the cat is back home.
"That's enough,"
the man thinks to himself. He puts the cat in his car and drives 50 miles, then through a forest, over a bridge, and finally abandons the cat in the middle of a clearing. Half an hour later, the man calls home.
"Is the cat there?"
he asks his wife.
"Yes, why?"
answers his wife. The man replies,
"Put it on the phone. I need directions."
Dave has just finished up work for the evening and is walking to his car. Suddenly, a short, rather squat-looking man appears in front of him with a gun in his hand.
"Give me everything you've got!"
the man screeches at Dave. So Dave hands over his money and his wallet. As the man is about to leave, Dave stops him. "Say," he says to the robber, holding out his hat, "would you shoot a few bullets in my hat? I don't want my wife to think I spent all my money on booze and gambling." The robber also has a wife, so he agrees and shoots a few holes in Dave's hat. Taking off his coat, Dave then says, "Thanks, buddy. How about a few bullets in my coat while you're at it? I want to look like I put up a fight and I was not a coward." The robber sighs and shoots a few holes into Dave's coat. Then Dave says, "Just one more thing. Can you please shoot?"
Look, mister, I ain't got no more bullets.
says the robber. "Oh," says Dave, "then would you please give me everything you've got before I beat the out of you?" An old woman walks up to the bar on a cruise ship and orders a scotch with 2 drops of water. As the bartender gives her the drink, she says,
I'm on this cruise to celebrate my 80th birthday, and it's today.
The bartender says, "Well, since it's your birthday, I'll buy you a drink. In fact, this one's on me." As the woman finishes her drink, a young woman sitting next to her says,
I would like to buy you a drink too.
The old woman says,
How nice of you. Bartender, I want another scotch with 2 drops of water.
"Coming up," says the bartender. As she finishes her drink, a man sitting at the bar says, "I would like to buy you a drink also." The old woman says,
Thank you, young man. Bartender, another scotch with 2 drops of water.
"Coming right up," says the bartender. As he gives her the drink, he asks, "Ma'am, I'm dying of curiosity. Why the scotch with only 2 drops of water?" The old woman replies,
Sonny, when you're my age, you've learned how to hold your liquor. Holding your water is a whole other issue.
2 storks are sitting in a nest, a father stork and a baby stork. The baby stork is crying, and the father stork is trying to calm him down.
Don't worry, son. Your mother will be back soon. She's bringing people babies and making them happy.
The next day, it's the father's turn to deliver the babies. As the mother and son are sitting in the nest, the baby stork starts to cry again. The mother stork comforts him by saying,
Son, your father will be back soon. But now he's bringing joy to new mommies and daddies.
A few days later, the baby stork's parents are desperate. Their son is missing and has been absent from the nest all day. Shortly before dusk, the baby stork returns, and the parents ask him where he's been. The baby stork says,
Nowhere. Just scaring the hell out of college students.
A guy wakes up one morning and hears a voice inside his head say, "Quit your job, sell your house, take all your money and go to Las Vegas." He ignores the voice, but later that day, he hears it again, even more insistent. "Quit your job, sell your house, take all your money and go to Las Vegas." The harder he tries to ignore the voice, the more frequently he hears it. Soon, the voice is in his head constantly. "Quit your job, sell your house, take all your money and go to Las Vegas." Finally, he just can't take it anymore. He quits his job, sells his house, puts all his money in a suitcase, and flies to Las Vegas. The moment he steps off the plane, the voice says, "Go to Caesar's Palace." So he flags down a cab and goes to Caesar's Palace. When he arrives, the voice says, "Go to the roulette table." So he walks over to the roulette table. The voice says, "Bet everything on red 23. He puts every cent he has on red 23. He watches nervously as the wheel spins around and around. The ball bounces a few times, then lands on black 11. The voice says,
Shit.
A New York divorce lawyer died and arrived at the pearly gates. St. Peter asks him,
What have you done to merit entrance into heaven?
The lawyer thought a moment, then said, A week ago I gave a quarter to a homeless person on the street. St. Peter asked Gabriel to check this out in the record, and after a moment, Gabriel affirmed that this was true. St. Peter said,
Well, that's fine, but it's not really quite enough to get you into heaven.
The lawyer said, Wait, there's more. 3 years ago, I also gave a homeless person a quarter. St. Peter nodded to Gabriel, who after a moment nodded back, affirming this too had been verified. St. Peter then whispered to Gabriel,
Well, what do you suggest we do with this fellow?
Gabriel gave the lawyer a sidelong glance, then said to St. Peter,
Let's give him back his 50 cents and tell him to go to hell.